New Country 1430 AM and 107.3 FM WRDN. I'm Brian Winnikins. Joining us right now is Durand-Arkansaw School Superintendent Greg Doverspike as we talk about the school board meeting from earlier on Wednesday, the 18th. And Superintendent Doverspike, thanks for joining us this morning. While there was a public hearing and also discussion on the back to school plan, I guess tell us about that plan. How's this all going to work?
Yeah, there really was no change. What ended up happening as part of the COVID relief package, there's 3 separate COVID relief packages schools were a part of. Each one of them had different restrictions and requirements. The third one, which is the most recent one, had some requirements related to what needed to be in our safe to return to school plan, and a public open forum where people had an opportunity to provide feedback was part of that. The plan we approved in July, not all the guidance was out yet. So the plan we approved in July didn't have all of those aspects in it. So we had to just go back and basically approve the same plan with some additional language in there related to, safe. We'll teach the kids hygiene on how to wash their hands and cover their cough, which we have done for decades anyway. So it's just kind of jumping through some hoops and adding the right language. The big thing that people seem to want to know about is the masks are still optional. The only change in it is that CDC has a mandate out there that considers school buses to be public transportation. So as a result, masks must be worn on school buses. But the Department of Ed has said we are not able to discipline students for failure to wear a mask. So in a sense, what we're asking for is voluntary compliance.
Meanwhile, I know the district had been talking about with the kids that might be staying at home and doing the remote learning, there's still going to be some qualifications for that?
Yes, there are. And right now, to be honest with you, really have few, if any, interested in that. The numbers are relatively small. I think a lot of people, see the value of having the kids back in the building. So that's kind of the direction that most are going, but we'll continue to monitor that. Obviously, as things are changing drastically again, it seems like we had a quiet, probably, late April, May, or whatever it was, till about July, mid-July, and then everything started ratcheting up again as we've progressed through August. So we'll continue to monitor that. But as of right now, it's all systems go with kids in the building and masks are optional. And that's the direction we're going to head for this school year.
Yourself and the staff excited to have all the kids back?
Yeah, I think there's always that certain excitement. We've had staff in the building the last couple of days with in-service, and kids were in the building for open house on the 19th. So it's always kind of exciting and everybody's ready. And, it seems like kids are excited and I think, well, let me phrase that. Kids are not quite ready to come back to school, but the adults I've talked to, I think, are ready to have their children get back to school.
Talking with Durand-Arkansaw School Superintendent Greg Doverspike. Greg, with the upcoming year and with the situation with the Delta variant and all of that, how will the district be reacting, or what's the plan if there's suddenly like an outbreak or that sort of thing? How's that going to work?
It's probably going to be similar to what we did last year, or we're just going to continue to monitor it. Part of it is obviously there'll be some contact tracing that the county will perform. And we will honor any county mandate in regards to quarantining. But we'll just continue to work with the county and do our best and kind of see how things go. Now, obviously, kind of last year where we ran into some issues where we had to go remote for a while, dealt with staff quarantining. But a large majority of our staff, an overwhelming majority of our staff have been vaccinated. So that won't be an issue in that regard. So, we plan to continue to plug along and obviously monitor the Delta variant and anything else that comes along. And I think this plan, part of the federal requirement is this plan has to be reviewed every 6 months. But I think in theory, school districts I've talked to, and we're no different, this is going to be something you're going to be looking at every month to see if there's any changes that need to be made. And I don't envision many, if any. I envision more just kind of updating the board on how things are progressing. And I think it's no different than last year. We're just going to kind of see how things go and hope for the best.
Meanwhile, with athletics, folks are going to be able to be back in the stands.
Folks are back in the stands and concession stands are open. So, we're we're looking forward to getting people back out at the Bowerbilt Sports Complex or in the gymnasium for volleyball or at the golf course for track or cross country. I'm sorry. Yeah, people are back, and we're looking forward to getting people back and watching our kids perform. And I think the kids are looking forward to, performing without some of the situations that were in place last year. And probably you're looking forward to performing in front of their peers too, and adults. And, I know Mr. Peterson's getting the band, ready to go. So they're going to be, back in play, which, they missed out on that opportunity last year as well. So I think it's going to be exciting to kind of have some form of normalcy as we progress, start into the school year.
And finally, Superintendent Doverspike, the ESSER 3 funds. Tell us about that. What's the plan for them?
That's the ESSER 3. We had to have a formalized plan, but in theory, it's a working document. It's a living document. We are not dipping into any of the ESSER 3 money until next school year, till 22-23. And we have until September of 24 to spend the funds. Our plan right now is probably to allow us to maintain some of these interventionist positions that we've put in for a little bit longer. I think they provide a lot of value to our students. And then we also have some HVAC upgrades projects we're looking at in terms of boilers and some other HVAC type stuff is kind of the preliminary plans along with some technology stuff. So I think, we haven't allocated, or we don't have a plan yet for all the funds because, we aren't sure what needs are going to be going forward. But we have kind of an idea of what we're looking for and what we may use it for, and we'll just continue to plug along and use it as we see fit.
That is Durand-Arkansaw School Superintendent Greg Doverspike. You're listening to Real Country 1430 AM and 107.3 FM WRDN.